All right, Miu. I heard you wanted to run for president. If you want to be president, let's get your campaign started. Here's my genius plan. Start a campaign of total chaos across swing states. We hack into everything. Billboards, campaign ads, you name it. That'll confuse people into voting your way.
Please, just show me where the control panel is and I'll rig it myself. But honestly, I could just invent something to mind control the masses. Boom! Instant win! Play my ads on repeat, get myself into people's heads and drag them into the poll booths. That sounds fucking amazing.
Miu, that's just... no! I mean, aren't there simpler ways? Maybe just campaign with, I don't know, actual strategies? Maybe learn how to talk properly first. How about them apples?
So we're really talking about this. Great. The world's already messed up enough, and you want to throw this into the mix. You can't invent your way into high approval ratings. Someone like Kim Jong-un would nuke you into pieces before you even get started.
Oh, come on, Maki. Think bigger. With enough memes, chaos, and a dash of disinformation, we could practically control the Electoral College. I give Miu tons of bullcrap, but she'll have great ideas. I'll be her running mate to keep her in line. If I have to advertise Miu as some kind of mother, veteran, or whatever I have to, I will. Even though we all know who the real president is going to be.
No fucking way. You would be the one ruling the country as Miu flirts with like half of her cabinet. Don't make me run to stop you from this. God, just stick to your terrible sex dreams, Miu. None of this will come true, just like those.
At least I am being original. Kaito probably doesn't even know where to stick his rod, if you know what I mean. Anyway, Kokichi, you bring up the Electoral College? That's easy. I could rig the machines if you just hand me an outlet and some copper wire. It'll be even more rigged than last time.
Yeah, but isn't there supposed to be some kind of integrity to this? You know, like actual voting values? Not all of the candidates literally have weapons of mass destruction like you and Kokichi have.
Kaito, it's a hypothetical. They don't care about that stuff right now. This is Miu Iruma and Kokichi Ouma. They break the rules, like they are a line of dominoes.
Like the pizza shop?
What the fuck? No, of course not.
Right, see? Maki gets it. Just imagine it. States flipping randomly, voter demographics all over the place. Pure chaos.
And then I'll swoop in with the deciding miracle invention. I mean, who wouldn't vote for a genius like me? I'll even invent fictional voters if it gets me over the top.
You're both ridiculous. Why not just try to win over people with, I don't know, decent policies? Even I can name a policy I'd implement if I could shove it through Congress.
You are literally in a cult. That's a fucking cult. I like the guy for the policies, but if there is anyone I can trust, it's me, myself, and I.
Oh, Kaito, we all know decent policies are boring. The people want entertainment.
And you'd be the worst entertainer. This whole plan is honestly embarrassing. I'd rather get a back massage by a kung fu fighter than see a Miu Iruma and Kokichi co-op presidency. I don't know who is more unfit for the job.
That's because you don't get my genius. Just wait! I'll make history as the inventor of political victory.
Don't worry, Miu. We all know you're the first thing people think of when they hear political genius. Totally.
I think the only thing we're proving here is how fast we can lose brain cells.
Well, considering our current company, that checks out.
Say what you want. I'll still be the one calling the shots in our hypothetical future.
Only if I decide to allow it, Miu. Remember who's in charge of the chaos? You're the big fat pervert that brings your swamp creature fans with you, and I bring the chaos and fun times.
Miu, you are a stupid son of a bitch. We only have a week left till Election Day, and it's pointless. Kaito and I are both voting for Trump. I want a future with Kaito. He's the only child I need right now.
Right. Maki, hey, wait a minute, I'm not a fucking child. And thought you supported Nikki Haley?
Yeah, Maki. The lady who's a war hawk. Just like you. Whose base do you want to raid today? This isn't Minecraft or Fortnite. Go get your daily Fortnite dubs. Just don't bring them into real life for a day or two.
Kokichi, please.
I'd still make the best president ever. You'd all love it. Maybe I'll let Kaito head NASA, and Maki, you could be the secretary of badassery. It's not a position right now, but who's stopping me from creating it for one of my dearest friends?
Oh, that is actually sweet. Maybe talk like that more often, and I'll consider you as a friend too. Even if that cabinet position is more useless than even Kokichi.
Go fuck yourself, Maki Roll!
Miu, do you think you're gonna sweep the West Coast because of, what, your celebrity status?
Exactly. People love me and my genius inventions. I have at least 100 dedicated fans. That's like a whole stadium.
Hate to break it to you, Miu, but 100 people doesn't even make a dent in the state. And aren't most of your fans from OnlyFans?
Hey, they pay good money, all right? That's dedication!
That's not exactly the kind of fan base that's voting material. Most of them are basement dwellers anyway. They wouldn't go outside even for you.
Unless the voting booth's behind a paywall.
Okay, here's the plan. You degenerates. First, I'll hit the tech nerds in Silicon Valley by promising faster, sleeker internet connections. I've got prototypes of some devices that'll blow their minds.
Great. So you'll win over the 10 people who haven't already blocked you online. That's literally me after every other conversation with you.
Shut up! Next, I'm nailing Hollywood literally and figuratively. I personally would go to town with Austin Butler. Or, you know what? I'm not turning 25 until mid-November. I have enough time to become one of Leonardo DiCaprio's bitches that'll be a great flow of donations. These people will flock to my brilliance when I offer exclusively designed drones for their film shoots.
So techies, washed-up actors, and directors. That's your plan? Along with being a gold digger?
They'll love me for my genius, duh. Oh, and my perfect body, too. All right, desert states are next. Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. I'll promise them advanced cooling devices. They'll eat it up. Imagine, an AC so powerful, it'll feel like Canada.
Yeah, that might actually work. The heat there's killer.
Oh, please, do they even know who you are? It'll take more than an overpriced fan to make them vote for you.
Maybe, but once they see the prototypes, they'll be begging for me to be their queen.
Or they'll think you're just a walking AC ad.
Hey, Miu, why don't you go campaign in Arizona yourself? You'll melt right down to your circuits and stop pestering us.
As if. Unlike you, I can actually handle a little heat. Besides, if anyone's gonna melt, it'd be you, Pipsqueak. You'd be a puddle in 5 minutes.
Pfft, I'd survive better than you. I'm like a desert survival expert.
Sure you are. Survival experts definitely hang out in bunkers with Mickey Mouse Clubhouse decor. You're lucky I only burned your office the other day. I would have loved to do more.
Great, so we'll send both of you.
Colorado? South Park country? Imagine the real voters there seeing Miu.
Are you saying they wouldn't love me? Please, I'm way more legendary than those dorky cartoon characters.
Yeah, but in Colorado, they might just think you're another character from South Park. Crazy inventions, twisted attitude. Sounds like a fit.
Isn't it ironic, though? Out of all of us, you'd probably fit in there best, Miu.
Ha! Colorado better get ready for their next favorite icon.
Okay, but you won't see me crying when you find a way to die every episode. As for the gambling capital of the world, how about I head down to Nevada myself? I'll hit up every casino, charm the voters with my winning personality, and gather a mountain of gambling money. That way, we'll fund the entire campaign, and Miu wins for sure.
Oh, please, you'd blow it all on blackjack and come back broke.
You'd get kicked out of every casino in Vegas in 10 seconds, Kokichi. You'd ram a car onto the casino floor the moment you lose all of your money.
Oh, ye of little faith! Watch me work my magic. I should sell you and use you as credits, but I'm in a good mood today, so I'll relax.
The fuck?
All right, let's tackle all those boring farming states together. Idaho, Oklahoma, Montana, Wyoming, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, and Kansas. So, Miu, what do you have to offer people whose biggest concern is crops?
I'd revolutionize their farms with my inventions, duh. I'd turn those backwater fields into the pinnacle of agriculture tech.
Yeah, because they'd totally trust your machines after last time.
Oh, and what exactly do you mean by that, assassin girl? My machines are top-notch.
I just mean they don't always function. Last time, you practically burned down half a lab.
Relax, you two! It's not like anyone actually lives in those states anyway. Who's gonna care?
You're just salty they're all Trump supporters, huh, Kokichi?
Touché?
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Texas is practically mine. Those cowboys are gonna eat up my tech. They'll see me as the ultimate genius.
Right, because oil tycoons and tech geeks are best friends.
The state loves its independence. They'll want someone strong, not whatever this is.
They want someone who can charm a crowd. Miu, your inventions aren't exactly cowboy approved.
Just you watch. Y'all are underestimating me. I bet I've got plenty of cowboy fans on OnlyFans. They appreciate real talent.
That's not exactly the support you're thinking it is, Miu.
Oh yeah, cowboys love tech, Miu. As long as it comes with a cowboy hat and maybe some lasso action.
Just focus, please. This is about votes, not subscribers.
Subscribers are voters, and they're loyal. They are loyaler to me than they are to their wives if they even have one.
All right, moving on to Ohio. A mythical land of cornfields, randomness, and memes. Maybe you'll meet Ohio's final boss while you are campaigning there.
Please, Ohio's just a giant corn maze pretending to be a state. If it's not there, it's where the sun decided it's not getting paid well enough to do any work there. It's an eternal darkness I'm not going to step in. Fuck that! They'll vote for me anyway, though.
Hey, they've got some pretty loyal voters. People somehow manage to live and stay there.
Yeah, just mostly corn. And memes. It's like the Twilight Zone out there. Maybe Slender Man or Ben Drowned are lurking there.
Hey, you're giving me goosebumps, Kokichi. Knock it off.
We're also covering real states like Michigan and Wisconsin here.
As long as they're not stuck in Ohio, they're smart enough to vote for me.
Guess even Michigan has limits.
Okay, Missouri. It's just the place where people pretend St. Louis is impressive.
Yeah, the whole state revolves around the Gateway Arch. Real riveting stuff.
Hey, Missouri's got more than that. They have, barbecue and, rivers.
Solid campaign material, Kaito. Real convincing.
Look, if I can charm the Midwest, I can charm anyone. Just gotta get Missouri to care about more than their, 2 landmarks?
All right, the South. Land of fried food, college football, and people who still think Miu has a shot.
Southern charm, baby. I'll win them over with my accent skills.
Your accent skills? You sound like a GPS with water damage.
Forget it, Miu. Unless you've got deep-fried OnlyFans perks, they're not biting.
Maybe if you disguise yourself as a mascot at a football game, they'll cheer. You'd fit right in with the chaos. I hope you get tackled and break something. Hey, at least you might get some sympathy points.
Please, they'll love me for my brains or my other assets.
Probably the latter.
Honestly, Miu for the South might just work. Nothing's crazier than that.
All right, Miu, but we've got states like Alabama and Mississippi. These aren't tech hubs, you know. They want authenticity, not, whatever you are.
I am authentic! Authentic greatness! I'll bring them the inventions they never knew they needed.
Like what? A self-fanning hat for those summer barbecues?
Or maybe a device that translates Miu's nonsense into something respectable.
Respectable? I'll make these states modern marvels.
Hey, miracles do happen.
Okay, now, our state. Miu, if you leave your lab, go to the rest of Florida, you'll probably get eaten by an alligator. And if you somehow survive that, a hurricane will blow your crazy inventions right back to square one. You're lucky that didn't happen last time.
Shows what you know. Florida's gonna love me.
Yeah, maybe if you don't blow all your campaign money at Disney World. Oh, and don't take Kaide, Himiko, or Tenko. Those 3 are obsessed with Disney.
Oh, Miu, please take me to Mar-a-Lago. Come on, I just want one picture with Trump. The last time I tried, I was tased and locked in his basement for a week straight, and I could only eat McDonald's for my every meal.
If you're going to be so pathetic, sure, I'll take you to Mar-a-Lago, but only if you stop drooling over Trump for 5 minutes.
This whole plan's already falling apart.
And if Ron DeSantis sees Tenko, hoo boy, she'll flip if he so much as glances at her.
Yeah, well, it's not like any of you have real suggestions.
Honestly, Miu, you'd probably get caught in a hurricane while trying to build a giant inflatable campaign sign. Just think of the headlines. You don't have Britain to go back to now.
Like I would let some weather ruin my plans. I'm an inventor! I could invent a hurricane-proof booth.
Right, and the booth will just float away. But hey, if you survive, just remember to take some pics for your OnlyFans.
My God, you're mad, Kokichi. Honestly, I can just do one rally in each of those states. Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey. They're so irrelevant, who even cares? They'll all just fall in love with me. I mean, have you seen me?
You might as well just flash your OnlyFans page at them. That's how you'll win them over.
As long as you promise to take me with you to Mar-a-Lago afterward.
Yeah, sure. After you do a meet and greet with the alligators, right?
Whatever. I'm telling you, my charm will have them eating out of my hand.
And if not, at least you'll get a great reality TV special out of it.
You should totally make a campaign video. Miu Iruma, the OnlyFans candidate.
Great. Now I can't tell if we're discussing a political strategy or a bad sitcom.
Why not both? It's the perfect blend of chaos and hilarity.
Exactly. It's all part of my master plan to conquer the Electoral College. They won't know what hit them. Honestly, I should just get Kokichi to buy all the billboards in New York City. Just imagine campaign signs everywhere. It'd be perfect for the election season.
Billboards? Oh, I'm totally in. Let's just plaster your face all over Times Square.
You do realize there's more to New York than just the city, right? What about all those rural areas?
Yeah, Miu, you can't just win New York by focusing on NYC. Upstate New York exists too.
Who cares about them? My fabulousness will radiate. They'll want to come to the city just to see me.
And if they don't, we can just sell them some of those fancy tourist hats to lure them in.
That's not how politics works, Kokichi.
Whatever. They'll see my billboards and fall head over heels. It's foolproof.
You really think that's all it takes? You need a bit more substance than just looks.
Yeah, like maybe a catchy slogan? Miu for president, vote for the hottest candidate.
More like a disaster waiting to happen. Good luck with that campaign.
All right, let's wrap this up with the final states in the Northeast. We've got Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine.
Massachusetts will definitely be tough to crack. They're not easily impressed.
Oh, please. Miu's charm will win them over. Plus, who wouldn't want to see a genius inventor in person? And yes, I'm only saying that because I'm high, and I don't want Miu taking advantage of that.
Exactly. I'll just show off my latest inventions and they'll be begging to vote for me.
Connecticut might be a bit more traditional. You'll need a solid strategy there.
And don't underestimate Vermont. Those people are fiercely independent.
But think of the maple syrup votes. Everyone loves syrup. Oh, put in a few good words about Bernie. His diehard simps will vote for you if you do.
I could invent a syrup dispenser that automatically pours the perfect amount. It'll be a hit.
What about Maine? Lobster rolls for votes?
You mean the lobster roll campaign? That's actually not a bad idea.
Just remember, Miu, you can't just rely on food. You need actual policies.
Policies? Who needs those when you have delicious seafood and cool inventions? Honestly, I should just date one of the Kennedys. Imagine the connections. I could be their sidekick or something, and they'd totally help me out with my campaign.
Oh, for sure. Miu Iruma, the official side chick of the Kennedy dynasty. That'd be a headline.
As if they'd settle for being a side piece. You'd want the whole deal, right? I mean, you can't beat Marilyn Monroe, but you can try.
Can you imagine the drama? Miu in the spotlight with a Kennedy? That would be wild.
I could charm them with my inventions. Who could resist a hot genius?
And if it doesn't work out, at least you'd have some great stories.
Right, because we need more stories of Miu and her failed relationships with political figures. You saw what happened with Ben.
I bet they'd love your crazy inventions, or run away screaming.
Literally, Chappaquiddick, you better be careful, Miu.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about Alaska and Hawaii. I mean, how hard can it be to win them over?
In Alaska, just bring a moose or something. Everyone loves moose, right?
Yeah, but good luck with the weather. You might freeze solid before you can even campaign.
And Hawaii? You'd better brush up on your hula dancing. Those voters are tough to please.
Hula? Please, I'd just charm them with my inventions. They'll be begging to vote for me. And if I have to hula, I'll just flash them while I dance. Easy peasy, I'm a fucking genius. And for Washington, D.C., I can just bring George Washington back to life. He could be my boyfriend, and that would totally win over the voters.
Yeah, because nothing says I care about your future, like resurrecting a guy from the 1700s.
Imagine the headlines. Miu Iruma and her undead boyfriend conquer D.C.
But what would he even think about your campaign? He'd probably be appalled at how far we've come.
Pfft, as if he wouldn't love my inventions. I'd have him as my secret weapon.
More like your secret liability. I can see it now. Miu Iruma, bringing back old traditions, one zombie at a time.
I think you just end up with a bunch of weird looks and confused voters.
Or they might just want to get rid of you for the vacation vibes.
Either way, you might want to pack some sunscreen. It gets sunny there, you know.
So if I win the election, I'll be unstoppable. Washington, D.C., here I come.
Yeah, because everyone loves a candidate who digs up the past for votes.
Well, I hope all your plans work out. Speaking of plans, my trip to the ISS got delayed by a day because the main captain lost his voice. Can you believe that?
Sounds like a terrible excuse. Maybe he just didn't want to deal with your antics.
You'd think they'd have backup plans for something like that.
I mean, I was ready to go. Now I just have to wait and listen to you all talk about politics for an extra day.
It's not our fault you picked the worst time to go to space.
Well, at least you can enjoy the chaos here until then.
Goddamn.